Good morning, Unity of Palm Harbor. Welcome, welcome. I think it's our very last Sunday before we hit my birthday month. Woo! And for those of you who don't know, it's a significant birthday. So I wrote my aunt and I said, so when do the numbers change form? And we don't call them the big birthday or the golden birthday or the silver birthday. We just are grateful that we are face up on this earth having a joyous occasion. Could that be possible? Could that be possible? So yes, we put a little love in our life, as everybody here is very welcome to do the very same thing. Some of you might have been here, and I believe it was 1996. Was anybody here in the area at that time? Do you remember this picture? Yes. So who is it? Right, they said this is the Virgin Mother Mary. And for people of the time that saw this, they declared, what a miracle. What a miracle to see her face in the windows. And I think she was called Our Lady of Clearwater. Yeah, do you remember this? So isn't it amazing that we might have a visualization that has us take a breath and declare a miracle? Do you have to see something to know that a miracle is in your presence? Does it have to be something extraordinary, or could it be the everyday? The everyday acknowledging the miracle of life, the miracle of being present to your own life. When I lived in Georgia, there was a small town out Conyers, Georgia, and they often, back again 20 years ago, thought they had seen Mother Mary, and people from far and wide came, as I understand they did here, to look at this building. They brought flowers and they brought candles. And again, it was that vision of Mary. And what does Mary represent to us? Is she the nurturing mother? Is she your guide? Is she your intuition? Why is it often that we see Mary? I hear people see Jesus in different things too. But do we even have to see an image to recognize the beauty of a miracle? That miracle that exists every single day, even when you step outside and do the littlest of things, and the butterflies start coming back in, and the bumblebees start coming back in. By the way, we have someone here who's had the most extraordinary bumblebees because she shared the honey for my tea with me last week. Be on watch. They'll be coming to our little foyer soon. So are you ready for a miracle? Are you open and receptive to receive whatever that means for you? A miracle. Biblically speaking, a miracle might be seen as an event in the external world brought about by the immediate agency or the simple volition of God. Now, when we get all technical, I got to go look things up. What does volition mean? It's will, choice. If you have a choice, can you recognize a miracle? Because you have a choice not to recognize it, right? So in the Bible, the miracle is designed to authenticate the divine commission of a religious teacher and the truth of the message. So, do you remember? What was the first miracle of Jesus? What better miracle is that one? Water into wine. I never understood the Baptist church, honey. Jesus was drinking wine with us. So that first miracle, let's look at it. Where did it take place? A wedding, a celebration. It was a place where people were joy-filled, and they were open, and they were receptive, and they were relaxed, and they were having fun together. They weren't uptight, judging everybody. They were here for a celebration. What a beautiful place for a miracle to take place. Now, remember, when the wine gave out, who instigated Jesus' first miracle? His mother. Now, you know your mother knows best. Don't argue with her. When she says get with it, you need to be prepared. Now, Mother Mary represents, again, our intuitive divine nature. Sometimes things come for us that we know is ours to do, And yet we still hesitate. We still have doubts. We're not sure. But Mother Mary knew. Our intuition knows. So what did Jesus do? When Mary said, "It is your time now," do you remember his first reaction? Doubt. Absolutely doubt. Now, this likened to me, anybody who had teenage sons, maybe even if you're married, and your partner or your spouse, and you go, it's time to take that trash out. And they don't, because they're not in the same line that you are. They'll get to it when they're ready to. But it's stinking up that kitchen, and it's time to do it now. So you push a little harder. Jesus had said to her, "Woman, what concern is that to you and to me? My hour has not yet come." Now, Mary didn't wait for him to argue with her. She looked over at the servants and she said, "Do exactly what he tells you." She wasn't going to play around and wait for him to decide if he was ready or not. Mary, representing intuition, knew he was ready. He just wasn't sure. So how is that for us? When we get that nagging little thought, that beautiful divine idea that comes within, and we think, well, I'll be ready next week. Or after I take one more class, I'll be ready. Or when I do this, I'll be ready. Well, maybe the miracle is you're ready right now. And you need that little push. Because that Mother Mary inside you is saying, now. Now is the time. Move into action. You've been thinking about it long enough. Now it's time to move into action. How would your life be today if someone very influential had been your cheerleader? What if someone in your life had said, "I know you don't think you're ready, but I already see it in you. I can hold that highest good right now for you." In my business world, in the banking days, I had managed a team. We were servicing accounts. It was boring. I was doing it for a number of years, and I made X amount of dollars that did not pay all of my bills. So I was stressed. 2 kids who had to go to camp in the summer because I worked full time. Dogs that needed to eat. A roof over our head. I went to my mother's friend and had to borrow money to pay the electricity one time. My boss didn't get that, but he was way up here and I was way down here. This gentleman that I met in the business industry world, his name was Bill Abraham. We all called him Father Abraham. Very wise. He came to me and said, "Let's go have a cup of coffee." Well, why not? What else is going on in my life? So we have a cup of coffee and he says, "I'm going to double your salary in 1 year if you come work for me." Now, I'm not a gambling girl at all. And I thought, how are you going to change my life so profound in 1 year? And he said, "But here's the catch." There's always a catch, right? Here's the catch. Straight commission. Ooh. Did I tell you I have 2 kids to raise? I know what my bills are. He said, "Okay, I'll give you a base and commission." Well, I was at choice. Do I stay where I'm familiar, where I know what to do, even though it wasn't meeting my needs, or do I take a chance? What do you think I did? Transformation, baby. Doubled my salary in 1 year and more than that the next. If I had stayed where I was, if I had stayed small, afraid to take a chance, I most likely would have bankrupted within a couple of years. It's tough being a single mom. It's sometimes tougher to take the chance. But how will you ever know if you don't stretch to see what is waiting for you? And what choices did I really have? I could stay where I was comfortable, or I could stretch and grow. I want you to know Father Abraham, Bill Abraham, was one of my favorite people because he really did believe in me like he did. And it took about 5 or 6 or 7 years, and eventually I kept getting those headhunter calls that, I had built a portfolio. It's making the bank a lot of money. And so the person would call and say, well, I want you to come work for us. And I'd turn him down. And I'd go tell Bill Abraham. And I turned him down, and one day I couldn't turn him down anymore. Now, if you know anything about me, I am not a 7 o'clock meeting kind of person. I wasn't it in the banking industry either. But one morning I made an appointment with him 45 minutes away, showed up at 7, asked if I could close the door. He said, uh-oh. I gave my notice. I want you to know that's the only job I cried when I left, because he had been so much my cheerleader. And to this day, I've lost touch the last 10 years ago, but I have these memories that I can share with you because it made that big of a difference in my life and that of my children. So what would happen if you looked at everything as a miracle and nothing as a miracle? So that kind of reminds me, and I have not studied in depth at all, A Course in Miracles, but the idea that everything is an illusion. So either everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle, and both ways are okay. And I thought, isn't he interesting? That's the Sadhguru, and you can find him on YouTube. So anything that you don't understand is a miracle in your understanding. Either there is no miracle in life, everything happens between cause and effect, or everything is a miracle. Everything is sacred. So what is it in us that may call that we want a miracle, that we want something outside of us to transform us? Is that even possible? If you are looking at someone else's life and you think that what they have is so much better than what you have, and why don't you have it, you have absolutely no idea how they got to where they are. You don't know in the small, quiet moments if they are having a great time with each other, or if it's in a relationship, or if they're not having a great time. You have no idea how long someone has deeply studied and reflected in life what is true for them to get to where they are when you meet them. Everything in life is a miracle. So why are we reaching outside of ourselves for that possibility? What if we could already see that divine presence within us already exists? Any question we have, any doubt, what if we really got still and listened to that inner voice? That's what we teach often, that meditation, that prayer time. If you don't know the answer, be still. Listen. And for some people like me, it's not always about being quiet until they take my voice. Sometimes I do really well when I'm outside. I noticed this past week the big red cardinal that I haven't seen for a while come and play in the little tree that doesn't have her leaves yet. And I noticed the mate, because the red one is the male, and I noticed the little brown one, she was dabbling along the fence. And I was hoping that my big monster Great Pyrenees did not see either one of them. But I thought, see, life rejuvenates itself. Here is the messenger again. What is the message? So when we are asking ourselves, can I do this? Can I do that? You're the only one who knows. No one outside of you can be that for you. Only you will know the right time, and sometimes you get that little push, and only you will know when it's time to sit back and listen. Or you can do the challenging things like I do and move forward and lose your voice. It shows up for me often in money or health. When you're out of balance, where does the universe show up for you? Anybody? Health? Does it show up that things don't come with ease, but you struggle? Maybe opportunities don't look like they're coming? Because I think when you're in alignment with what it is you are meant to be doing and expressing that divinity within you, things come with ease. Things come with grace. You don't have to force them. It's already your birthright. It's already your birthright. So is everything a miracle or nothing a miracle? Jesus was in front of the 6 or barrels or whatever many barrels were there for the water turning into wine. And he says to the servants, take this cup to the steward, so the steward might taste this wine. And I had to look up, what does that mean? What's a steward? Why do we care what a steward is? Well, when you had a wedding back in the old days, you invited people of high stature. You might invite the priest. You might invite a government official. So I was thinking maybe that steward represents our high consciousness. What if, when it's your time to create whatever is up for you, that you are in your own high consciousness? That steward tasted the wine and said to the bridegroom and the bride, this is the best ever. You held the really good stuff to the end. Most people wait until you get drunk on the good stuff and give you the yucky stuff. But you gave me the good stuff. So what is your good stuff? What if you did that first? What if you don't have to build up, but you step right into your power and do what you've been called to do? Maybe you are the steward. That high consciousness, that honored guest at the wedding. And the celebration continues. And the celebration continues. I wanted to see what Brene Brown might talk to us about. So I pulled out this book, Atlas of the Heart. And she says to us, first in a quote, if I had influence with the good fairy who was supposed to preside over the christening of all children, I should ask that her gift to each child in the world be a sense of wonder, so indestructible that it would last throughout its life as an unfailing antidote against boredom and disenchantment of later years. This sterile preoccupation with things that are artificial, the alienation from the sources of our strength. This is Rachel Carson, The Sense of Wonder. And so she goes on, Brene Brown, to say this. Both awe and wonder are often experienced in response to nature, art, spiritual experiences that I will call miracles, or ideas. In the midst of these moments, we can feel overwhelmed by the vastness of something that is almost incomprehensible, like we almost cannot believe what we're witnessing to be true, like we're seeing something that doesn't fit with how we move through and understand our everyday. This awe and wonder are often used interchangeably. But she says, awe inspires the wish to shine and to acknowledge who we are, our infinite possibilities. Our infinite possibilities exist in awe and wonder. Where is that curiosity of a child within you? Have you ever given bubbles to children when they play outside? What they create, and listen to them. Don't give them the little Game Boys and the cell phones. Listen to their world's imagination. They create all kinds of things. So how about if we became like children again, in that state of awe and wonder? So I was trying to go to bed a little bit earlier last night, at 9:30, and I thought, this is a very mystical time. For those of us who are following the astrology world, there's a real big shift that is occurring right now. And I thought, I haven't really dabbled in this for a while. So I pulled out my goddess cards, and I lit 2 candles, one for prosperity and one for communication. And then I sprinkled a little clearing water around my room, and I said, let all that does not serve me be cleared away. Let me be able to communicate the ideas, the possibilities for our community. And I pulled out these 3 goddesses, and I dove deeply into each one. What do they represent? What do they mean to me? And I looked at the pictures. And now it's about 9:30 at night. I'm trying to get rest. And now my head's up. That's the Aries in me. So this Aries is like, oh, we're going to do a workshop. So I sat down and developed a workshop for the next 10 pages. And I thought, here it comes. Y'all get ready. Awe and wonder. When you're tired, when you feel asleep, when you're not awake, what does it take for you to be vibrant, to be alive, to be awake again? What stirs your passion that says, pick me, I want to do it, call on me, so that miracle of the everyday life is simply the miracle of everyday life. So I'm going to invite you to say with me, today I expect a miracle.
Today I expect a miracle.
Today I am a miracle.
Today I am a miracle.
And look at your neighbor. Today you are a miracle.
Today you are a miracle.
And our community, we are a miracle.
We are a miracle.
And so it is. Amen.
Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me every time I open my heart. I receive all that I need, knowing that God is my source. I relax.
So you might recall that we're going to get a tent for our children to have an outdoor classroom space. So we're going to line them up. Do you like their little top hats and their canes? Oh, careful. We got little ones under you. Oh, that's really cute. So maybe everybody walk to the right. Everybody go to the right. Okay, well, the idea is, thank you very much for your Sunday offering. And when these children take a bow, and they're going to join us in our songs, when they're out there, give generously towards their tent. The board is going to match that so that we can have an outdoor classroom because we have so many children now. We need my office and an outdoor space. Okay.